Go ahead. Go ahead.
Just for a couple of points, because I know we're at our hour mark. One,
Mhm.
I will say this in terms, so structural racism.
Mhm.
Every time we as a people come up, um, they change the goalposts. So,
Mm.
historically, we had a Black Wall Street where economics was priority and number one, and they found a way to destroy that.
Right.
So, historically, you know what I'm saying? So then we jumped on the education bandwagon. And
Mhm.
now education is not it's not the American dream that it used to be
Sure not.
when it was the majority of white people who
Mhm.
were going through the higher education. Once we
Yeah.
got access, they
Man.
once again changed the goalposts. So
They have.
let's remember, like, that's the that's the that's the danger of the structural racism, is that every
Yeah.
time we think, like, we can, like, okay, we can say with the next generation it's all about economics, but then structural racism is going to come in, and I hate to be a pessimist about it or have a pessimistic viewpoint, but
Mhm.
they're going to figure out a way to change the goalpost again, and then it's going to be something else that we got. So
Yeah. So
the
good.
gatekeepers, the gatekeepers always have a way of
Fuck that.
keeping us, as an overall people behind and not in front. And that's just one viewpoint. The second point I wanted to make is in terms of the question itself for the show. Does Black privilege exist? So I just want to kind of clarify, like, from my understanding, it's like when you talk about racism, you're talking about a power differential, and that's why you can't have reverse racism, because my hatred or my prejudice against the
Mhm.
white person does not limit their access to housing, to healthcare, to jobs, to anything like that improves or declines their quality of life. However, white people who dislike us are in a position of power to do that, and therefore that's why there's racism and not anti-racism. Now,
Cheers.
when you talk about privilege, though, we all as people have privileges, and in some way we're marginalized. And there was a young lady who did an experiment, and we used to do it all the time, is that she'll say, okay, how many of you don't have to worry about, you know, who you're in love with, or how many, and everybody's in a line, and each time you don't have to worry about it, you get to step up. And then at the point that you do have to worry about something, you have to stay where you are. Or I think on the Facebook they had, put up your fingers, and you at the end of the exercise you looked at how many fingers you still had left up. So we all, in a way, regardless of our color, our age, our social status, have a privilege, and we are might be marginalized in other cases. So does Black privilege exist? I don't think that our skin color in and of itself creates a privilege, but there might be other qualities that we have that give us privilege, wherein for someone else they may be marginalized. Like the fact that I'm a heterosexual, I am privileged in that aspect because I don't have to be discriminated against for who I may love versus someone who is a homosexual. So we all, in a way, hold some level of privilege, and that's out in there.
Well,
I,
I
I
guess.
don't. The answer to
Go
me
ahead.
is no. The answer. This is quick. I don't think black privilege exists because that would suggest there's privilege in this society, in this Americas, based on our color, that will anoint us with some type of advantage. And I don't think that exists. Like you said, T, is uh, privilege connected to other qualities, but it's not because you're black. I'm black. That provides me more access to something that I would not otherwise. On the opposite end, that's why, like the same as what you said about reverse discrimination doesn't exist. It's almost reverse black and white privilege. But because some people are white, there is privilege connected to that skin color, but there's no privilege connected just for being black. Um,
Well,
in
well,
the
let me say, but what I'm saying is though, but black privilege, that's just what it is. See, here's the thing: how can it not exist? If I have more money than you,
Mhm.
if I have more, just alone, that because I have more money than you, I have more
Yes.
privilege than you have.
Yes.
So I mean,
But
that
it's
doesn't
the
make sense.
money, not the blackness. It's
No,
the
but
money.
But listen to what I'm saying. Black privilege is equal opportunity. If I have so let's do this. Let's look at Oprah Winfrey when she went to that wherever she went. Remember that when she wanted to buy the purse and the lady just looked at her skin color and didn't believe she could afford it.
Right.
You get what I mean? And then she just left until people figured out who she were. No, in that instance, of course. So we can draw a reference to the example. So that's the reference to the example. So now I get that part. But that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you, black privilege is what it is, the word privilege, where they can do things that you or me can't do. So to us, that's a form of white privilege. So what does that mean? If I can, there's a lot of people who haven't stepped up to the plate, or they've not made a comment because of their white sponsorship.
Right.
That's called black privilege, because they're privileged in areas that other black people aren't privileged in. Like you have your Rob or Johnson, Robert Johnson,
Rob Johnson,
a billionaire. Like you have a Tyler Perry. These men, whether you want to believe it doesn't exist, but these people have a privilege that you don't have. So what do we mean in that area? We're saying that there's people with black privilege who aren't helping because they're privileged, and they believe if they step in that it would affect their funds or their bottom line because of the people that support them. That's what black privilege is. And in this instant, in terms of white privilege, well, white privilege people have, because of their skin color, they can get into areas that normally other people can't get in, meaning of color, because of their skin color.
But I don't think the black privilege is anything to do with the black skin.
No, it has nothing to do with
it's
the black
not
skin.
That. It's the privileged part, not that you black.
Right.
It's the economic part. They are financially privileged. It is the finance that gives them the platform.
But it's still black
finance
privilege.
You can't say it's black privilege. I mean, you made the distinction yourself, Tom. White people who are born with a skin color automatically. Go ahead.
I get what you're saying, but there's a definition. Whether you believe that in your own personal world, you can pull up black privilege, and there's people who actually is talking about it right now, and some of these people are billionaires. They say that there are people that are classified as black privilege. Just like the matter of fact, Prophet Jordan, shout out to him, he even put that out in his book on why God is going to even deal with the black man, because there are black people out there who have black privilege. Don't get it twisted. Black privilege, and they're not stepping in to help because it affects their bottom line. To me, they still black. It's still black privilege. You get what I mean? So I don't know who used.
So let me just say this. Black privilege. It came up because I just did a quick search. It came up in Wikipedia, so let's consider the source, as black supremacy, which says that the term has been used by the Southern Poverty Law Center. It is a belief which maintains that black people are superior to people of other races. So that was just one definition.
But common sense. Now, I don't even have to look at a definition to give you common sense to say that you are a black person that is privileged. And when I look at you, you can help me out. But you decide not to help me out because of the people that are supporting you. That's black privilege. And I don't know, is that many terminologies of definitions to the word privilege? Let's look up the word privilege. Look up the word privilege.
But it's not their skin color that gave them that. It is their economic status that gave them that.
We get that.
Oh yeah,
we understand that. But what I'm saying
is, all I'm saying.
Nobody's stupid. We understand. We get.
But then you can't call it black privilege.
No, you can't call it black. This. Okay, so here.
Why do they call it white privilege?
Well, white privilege.
Okay, there we go. And that's
skin color. No,
right. But what's the superior? What's that?
It's the wealth that they have behind them. It's the way, right? It's listen.
Let's hold on. Let me jump in.
Okay, hurry up because I'm hot with this one. You gotta hurry up on this.
I'm gonna go from just a simplistic approach that's supported by, I think the last I had read, say you got a black person and a white person, both of them are poor, right? Both of them are poor. And because right now, I think I was reading some stats about employment practices or whatever. There's still an extreme gap between white folk getting hired and black people getting hired. So now, if you got a black person that walked to an interview and a white person walking to an interview, they're both poor. White privilege is, because I'm white, you don't even know me, you don't know what my situation is.
That's what you think it is.
Let me finish. Well, that's a fact. So then you get in.
No, it's not a fact.
Then I'm hiring you because you're white.
No.
Now, hold on.
That plays into it. But it's not the factor. It's not the factor, but it plays into it.
Then, so when we talk about, like,
we're in shallow water right now.
Now we're talking about now I'm black and I have money.
Right.
I have money. Now I don't debate the argument. I have some additional privileges because of my economic status, and I happen to be black.
It's
but it's not because I'm black, I have the privilege.
But a person can pay their way into any position. If they got the top dollar, they can pay their way in. They can pay their way out of court. They can pay their way out of
No, but that's still what you're still defending what they're saying about economics. Listen to what I'm saying. See, here it go. Let's go beyond shallow water. Let's not look at the shallow water. See, that is loosely. I can say, yeah, because your white privilege means because you're white skin. No, listen. Yeah, it connects. It does connect. But listen, you live in a capitalist society. What rules in America is who holds the bottom line. That's what supremacy comes from. Who holds the bottom line? In this society that we live in is dealt by wealth. It's dealt by how much money that depict upon how much power you have in this country. Don't get it twisted. It's money that rules this world, not color skin. Now, it just so happened to be that these people are white. Now, here we go. What makes the privilege come in? The privilege come in if I own the company and I'm white. So when I see you, I can grab my sister by the hand because of systemic racism and pull them up. It's not because of their skin color. It's because I got the right. And I can just do this because of the wealth that I have. So we got to look past the color scheme thing. And that's the same thing with black privilege. It still goes to the fact that I have access to wealth to make things happen, and I'm black. That's black privilege like it is white privilege. I'm thinking you got to look beyond the walls, the shallowness, the shallow parts of the skin color and look deeper in it. It's power. That's why the white lady who last week or week before, she said that it wasn't to some degree racism that killed Floyd. It was being powerless. Because in this society, again, you live in a capitalist society that's driven by white America, and that's why blacks, that's why they don't want to give you rapper refunds. They don't. I always say rapper, but reparations. They don't want to make you powerful. It's going to make you powerful.
Yeah.
But so we are so close. We are so close, but yet so far. Because I think that for you to attach. For you to say like a black person who has money has black privilege, I think is simplifying it. I think it takes a very complex set of characteristics that make up that person, and it shrinks it down to a black person with privilege. You can't simplify it like that. You do have to break it down in the nuances of what that person. That's where the economic piece. It wasn't like if it was about black privilege, then just the term black privilege, you are saying that the privilege is associated with the blackness. In this situation, these people,
you happen to be black with the money.
No, you don't happen to be black. You don't happen to be black.
What do you mean
you
you don't
are
happen?
black and you happen to be rich. You don't happen to be black. You are born black.
What do you mean?
happen to be rich. You happen to have money. The privilege does not come with the no, you don't happen to be black, Tom. You are born.
No. Listen to what I'm saying. See, because we can sometimes get it twisted. We can get it. I want you to clearly hear what I'm saying for the first time, because a lot of times it's always you guys don't. I don't know if you really understand what I'm saying. So I want to make sure we get it clear. Just make it clear to what I'm telling you. I'm saying that the rule, and here it go. You go do a fact check and look in your history. So I'm gonna say this, that you live in a capitalist society. There are blacks and whites who still get along when you don't get along because they have the money to get along. Where it's not that I'm looking at your race. I'm looking at how I dominate you. And now I can do whatever I want to do because I dominate the situation. That's white privilege. Now I can bring whoever I want on, not because of your skin color. It's because it's just white privilege because I have the power to do this. I can.
Take your example. Let's take like RW3 did.
I mean, I'm telling you what people are talking about right now. And people are talking about this right now. This is
hold on, guess what, Tom? And we are, listen, you know what?
It's just y'all
we are part of those people that's talking about it, though. But we are part of those people that's talking about it. Like me and you, all of us. And let me say this. I believe, and then I want you to jump in, T. This is my thing.
To your history, too. Look at your.
I'm about to go back in history. That's what I'm about to do.
No. I'm not talking about the history books that's in your school.
Tom, I want to give my perspective from my perspective. This is my perspective.
Well, from a capitalistic society, give your perspective.
My perspective is this. I don't believe holistically the dominant culture, whites, have changed historically with what their perspective is with black folk. I just don't believe it.
What do you mean? No. Say what you say.
When I get my point, then ask me follow-up questions. I
don't want to lose you. I don't want to lose you, so I got to get an understanding of what you're saying. So revert back to what you said and say it again, so I can understand what you and let me know what you're saying.
I think the overall arching mindset of whites towards black is that we're subservient and we're unequal to them. Anybody got any questions about that so far?
Is you basing that on color or wealth?
Color, brother.
That's the definition of white supremacy.
No, the definition of white supremacy or racism is that I have the power to inflict on you.
Let me finish.
You don't have the power to inflict on me.
Let me finish. So this is what I think. I think even when not even the Constitution, when they talked about us being 2/3 of a human and how there were lunch counters, right? Follow me.
Forget that.
It's important to me, to my point.
That don't have nothing to do with white supremacy in a capitalist society where money is driven. White people came to get black people. Black people didn't come to get white people. White people had already had a wealth established in their community, and they brought you because they were lazy enough not to go pick the cotton themselves. So they brought you over here and enslaved you. They were already in the forefront with their income. It wasn't about color. It was about money.
No, let me finish. No, they weren't because Tom. When they got here, they didn't have. But when they got here, they didn't have an economy established. The Indians did, so they didn't. Tom.
We're not talking about this. We're talking about white people. We're not talking about Indians.
No, I'm saying people of color, which are Indians. But anyway, so now and this is a fact, there were white established businesses, and if we're talking about economics, follow me on this. There were white established businesses, and I think this is still their mindset. In the 60s, you can go to a lunch counter, right? They will say, even though you can advance my bottom line capitalistically, because you're a nigga, I'm not gonna serve you because you're black. And even though your money, me serving blacks, will heighten my bottom line, right?
Go back to the money,
but because you are black, even though, because if capitalism was so heavy, they would have always made us an integral part of the economy. And they're still denying us equal access in the economy because we're black. Otherwise, they will make much more money.
Yeah. White supremacy is a belief that that race is superior than other races. It has nothing to do with economics. Economics is the tool that gives power for people who have that belief to enact racism. But white supremacy in and of itself, you get some of the most poorest white trash, forgive me, but some of the most poorest white trash, you go to Idaho, Kentucky, Montana, you got some of the racist white people you will ever see that's poor and they ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. It has nothing to do with economics. It's surely
racism is right. Racism is just a title word. Is it racism? White and black, that's just a name. You're white, I'm black.
See, black privilege, they taking black privilege. That black privilege is like, it just gets you in the door to more things. Those people will get us in the door. Right. Don't have
we don't know.
Money.
I don't know if it dropped. RW3, can you hear me?
Can you hear RW3?
Yeah. So the line dropped. We had to run it in. I don't know. It's just been going out. I think that's everywhere. So no, Warman. Listen. Let me get it. I understand. I get what you're saying. With the naked eye, I understand what you're saying. Let me say it like that. I get it. With the naked eye, you're saying that it's all about skin color that determines white supremacy. And I get that. No, I get that. But do you know that it's always, history show you that it's before the word racism or white and black came, you were known as a tribe. You wasn't even identified by white or black. You were identified by your tribe. And then to this one guy came in and did something with the skull, and he determined that the white brain or the skull was more beautiful. Then y'all know this story. If you had anthropology, the white skull depicted that this man, they were like gods or heaven or white as snow, whatever. And white supremacy moved from there. I'm sketching through it real quick. But what I'm trying to share with you, in terms of the society that we live in, all I'm telling you is that it goes deeper than your skin color. And the only way that I can make that make sense is that if I have enough of something that you don't have, and what I have can make me more dominant than you, it's not about it. And it just happened to be, I'm gonna say it again, happened to be white, because I want to put whites against black. You're undermining the system if you believe that it's about white and black and it's not a power structure within this society that we live in. I don't know what world you live. I don't know what world either one of you live in, because my thing is that I know that money is what runs this world and puts people together. Now, when I drop billions of dollars over in Iran, I don't give a crap that you Iranian or your skin color. I care about is that I can dominate you because I have more than you have. When I drop money in different countries, I can care less about your skin color.
That's economic privilege. That's all we're saying.
What we say,
you just said it doesn't matter the rate.
No,
it doesn't matter if you're Arab, African, Chinese. If you got the money,
that's all. It's just black people who got money. But we just titled it as black privilege. Like it's everybody else that got money.
But like everybody else, but y'all too. Everybody else is titling it, but y'all too. So what I'm telling you is this:
everybody else is what?
There is a black privilege So we don't get this twisted, because again, everybody else talking about this, but y'all too. So I'm gonna say this is that black privilege is when someone who has better can do better, but don't do better for me. And in fact, they won't reach out to help me because of their black privilege, this title with them. And that's what I'm seeing now. That there are people who are black privileged, who have more than what you have, and they're privileged in different areas. They just happen to be black, just like people happen to be white. Right, that's all I'm saying.
I mean, the thing about it though, I'm gonna say this because we all agree to disagree. But what I will say this,
yeah,
for a fact.
Hold on,
Tom, let me finish.
Everybody else but y'all two. No.
Everybody, because this is the thing. This is the thing.
And out of the 42 million black Americans, y'all the other two that they saying that don't believe this is y'all two. So make it clear, is y'all two. Out of the 42 million people.
Tom, we don't agree based on how you defined it.
I'm defining it. I'm defining it like, listen. When you hold on, let me say this. When you at your job, when you at your 9 to 5, when I wake up, my day is in history. My day is learning what's going on with society. Now, if you can clearly tell me what I'm saying is wrong and prove it, then I'll go with you. But for my day, I don't go work and punch a clock. My day is I get up and I say, what am I going to do if I don't do anything up at Natasha's Bouchel Media at the company, if I go work for the company? So my thing is that I look into this stuff. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Now,
I would challenge you the same thing in terms of your proof and facts. You show me a black person because again, we talk about the term black privilege, which implies that they're privileged because they are black, not because they got money, but you show me one black person that has experienced privilege in a capitalistic system because they are black, and I'll shut up.
Jay-Z, you got Jay-Z.
It's not because they're black. We're not saying because they're black.
Hold on.
We're saying
we can travel down her road though. Obama experienced it because he was black. And the blood mixing that went on within his family, saying that he even was connected to the Bushes. I can go either way, but that's not what we're talking about. We're saying that, see, the narrative is to you guys is that if you say white privilege, they're saying it because they're white and that's it, not because they dominate because of the wealth that they have, that people put a title on there.
Access to resources.
Right, access to resources.
To capital.
They just put a title on it and called it white privilege. That's the same thing with black privilege. See, you the one that got it twisted because privilege is the word, not the color. It's the privilege because of the power that you have. Now, these people dominate because they are white, so it makes it white privilege. The same thing resort back to the black person who have the ability to have access to those things. That's called black privilege because that person happens to be black to this title of success. So I don't know another way.
Obama was privileged. Obama was privileged because he had access to education. I mean, Obama's.
You think that's what it was?
Come on, you look at.
That's what it was.
I don't want to go, but you look at his. You look
read
at his credentials.
Go read his book.
You look. I did. I know.
Then if you read his book, you would know who was his real father. Do you know who his real father was?
Yes, I do.
No. Do you know who his adopted father was?
I know who his real father was. He was a Kenyan.
You pull up his father. Hold on, before you make that statement. Pull up his adopted father to show that this man was a billionaire and was one of the most richest presidents that lived, male presidents. And Joe Brown will even break that down to you.
Okay, well, then you just supported my claim that Obama's privilege came from his financial access, his financial status that gave him access to the best education, to Princeton education. It was not the fact that he was black.
That was wealth that got him there. It was look up his father.
We agree with that. We agree.
Exactly. It was his wealth. It was not his blackness.
We agree.
We're sharing to you that's what white and black privilege is called. That's why it's labeled. It's not driven by the color. It's driven by the success of the people who can do whatever they want to do.
We agree with that.
But that's power. That's not what they're saying.
That is power.
They're saying I know clearly what they're saying. They're saying that it's not based on wealth, it's based on skin color. And I'm telling you that the skin color is Lovely T.
Lovely T, are you saying it's based on
I'm saying that very thing. It is based on wealth and not color. That's why you can't say it's black privilege, because black.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, we can.
Everything has to have a title. Privilege. Everything has to have a title in order to follow.
Well, then call it economic privilege. Call it educational privilege.
No, that ain't what the world calls it, though.
Call it political, social, economic privilege.
But the world doesn't call it that. That's why they title it based on the description of what it is. I'm a black man who would have privilege in a certain area. That's black privilege. Listen, what drives it is not the skin color, it's the wealth. But you happen to be a certain color who have the favor. Just like I can't even say the term. But all I'm saying is that we have our opinion. Mine based on study. I don't know what y'all's based on. But my thing is that go ahead. Let's look what you said about
study as well.
Okay, we're gonna bring some facts together, and I'm gonna bring some books.
That's fine.
You have to go deeper now.
I work with now. If you want to call out, I work with the CDC. I work with the CDC.
That don't mean anything.
Okay, listen to this.
That don't mean
anything. Black privilege. The CDC.
This world is rooted by this world.
Anti-oppression for 3 years.
Let me say this. Okay, it is an article. I don't know how fond you are with CNN, but it says in America, it says that black privilege, confused by his answer, I asked him to give me an example of a perk that I enjoy as a black man that he couldn't. His answer, Black History Month. But so it is certain perks.
Slow down and read. Slow down and read. Because it's a good one. So all I'm okay. So here we go.
Perks.
I know there's a lot of perks. There's a lot of perks as black who are black privileged. It's just a title that follows the wealth. You're just happen to be black with this type of money, just like white people dominate because there's more of them that has the money and the wealth from slavery in a lot of areas that got them where they were today. They just happen to be. I'm not taking the word happen lightly. When I mean that, I'm saying that that's the face that matched the power. They're white people, just like you got Arabics who have a whole lot of wealth over there in their area. They just happen to be, meaning the title behind them is Arabic. So I guess also that's what I'm saying is that there are people, whether you want to believe it, that there are people who have something called black privilege. They are privileged because of their wealth. They just happen to be black.
And this question should have said, "Do black people have privilege?" Then I would have said yes.
No,
but the question says, "Does black privilege exist?" I say no.
We say no.
Obviously it does. So you tell, as Jay-Z that, as Puffy that, as Rob, as the billionaire, Mr. Johnson, the co-owner of BET, as Oprah Winfrey that, and let's see now if they tell you that, the ones who actually have the wealth, then I'll ride with you. But until then, if you believe you can get into places just like they can, let me see you do it. If you believe you got access to the same benefits that they have, let me see you do it. If you believe that you can get or move up to certain levels because of who you are and your status that follows, let me see you do it. Until then, I don't understand.
Well, that negates your point, because guess what?
Right.
If it was black privilege, Tone, then I could go in the same place as Oprah and Jay-Z and Beyonce can go in. If it was black privilege, then the fact that I am black should give me access.
No, it's deeper than
black
that.
privilege.
It's connected.
Economic privilege. That is the differentiating characteristic between me and Oprah. It is not our skin color, it is our economic status.
She can do things based on her name alone that you can't do, even if you had the same money that she had. Listen, but we'll go deeper into it. Here's my thing. I get it. You don't want to believe the truth. I get it. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. One day y'all wake up and come into that reality. I get it. I understand. But this is what you do. You keep on believing in your world that you live in that there's not a such thing of people with black privilege. Just let that person come and work above you and tell you to get out of here, you fired, then you're going to understand that black privilege do exist. So you can believe what you want to believe, but I'm telling you, and not you guys directly, I'm talking to the people that's in Facebook. And I know that the people on Facebook don't believe that. I know that they believe that there is a such thing as people that have privileges that are black that can make things happen within the community, but they refuse to do it. And in fact, they take from that community instead of putting in because they know that it hurts their bottom line to the people that is connected to them. So no, you don't agree because you don't.
I just told you.
You can't agree.
Please don't.
How can you agree?
We have to allow
black privilege. So
we have to allow for our varying. What I'm saying is,
you don't believe. You don't believe.
But I gotta be able to talk, brother. I gotta be able to talk. Listen,
because you're not making.
Daylight said, but that's wealth privilege. Thank you, Daylight. But listen,
what?
That is wealth privilege. But listen,
okay.
But we're not.
Let's go to the B.
Please make my point.
They in
and
denial,
they have privilege.
But they're in
privilege.
They don't make my point. Denial that black privilege doesn't exist. Go ask my point. Who talking about it right now?
Let me make my point. Let me make my point. If Oprah, and this I always have to give parabolic examples so I can get stuff clear in my mind. If Oprah was in a southern state and there was a couple, maybe it was 3 white clans people that had the intent on hanging a Negro, right? And say the first Negro they ran into that they can do it and they get caught, and it's Oprah. Do you think the fact she's Oprah will prevent them Klansmen from hanging her T? Because she's Oprah?
But that's hate, though. That's hate. That's
because
not.
I'm saying her skin. So privilege to me is because she's Oprah. The same.
But that's hate. That's hate. That's a different mind.
And when we looked at
you're supposed to be the psychologist and the social worker and all this stuff. So let's get into the mind since you supposed to know this.
Absolutely. And this is what I'm saying. When you look at a person, it is not even fair to look at a person on one characteristic. I am black. That is not a happenstance. That is not a happenstance. I don't just happen to be black. I am black. But I am also a woman. I also have a sexual identity. I also have a religious affiliation. There are so many different domains. Hold on. There are so many different domains that make up me, the individual.
We're not talking about all those people, though.
Some of those characteristics are going to put me in a privileged status, and some of those characteristics are going to put me in a marginalized
connection.
Economics in a capitalistic society obviously puts you in a privilege when you have more of it.
You're connected. But listen to what I'm saying. You're adding the titles. You're adding it. So what I'm saying is is that even with who said that? What she said? What she just said? Who said that? Daylight. What Daylight said. What I'm saying is, if Daylight's telling the truth, then white privilege don't exist. If she's saying it's not such thing as just called wealthy, that means white privilege don't exist. So
we're telling you that white privilege does exist.
No, listen, wait a minute. If you go on what she's saying, you're saying that white privilege don't exist because it's just about wealth. So now listen, that's right. Here it go. You don't know how to connect the dots, though. So that's right. It is about wealth, but here it goes. Is white people who hold it. So that's why people call it white privilege. Listen, if you learn the main idea in elementary, we learn that we go all the way back to school. We learn learning how to pick up the main idea. The main idea is not white. The main idea is privilege. That's the main idea. So
if I am born a white woman, I automatically, because of my skin color, will have access. I will not have to worry about my white child being pulled.
Why do you think that is there?
And having a because of my skin color.
You don't think it's because of power?
This society in particular, and I'm not talking about anywhere else in the world, I'm talking about America, has villainized and dehumanized black skin. So because I was born white, I don't have to worry about my child disproportionately being at risk.
It's because of
my color. In this society, it is because of my color.
You don't have a choice. You don't have power. You're powerless in this society.
Because of my color.
No,
you can take economics out of it. You can take economics out of the poorest white people still believe that
the white people had it before you. The white people had the power before you came over here. I'm talking about slaves. I'm talking about slaves.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at the premise. Let's draw some facts in this rambling conversation. Let's draw some facts in here. Now, let's go back to the trade. What was the purpose of the slave trade? What was the purpose of it? Do you think they just wanted to get a lot of dark people to come over just to take care of them, or do you think it was about them keeping their wealth up to a level that make them wealthy? I mean, what do you think it was the reason that they didn't care about your black skin? They care about your back and the labor that you will put in to make them wealthy. So we're gonna go deep, right? Because, and you talked about the psychologist and the counselor and the social worker and all this and getting in the minds. So thoughts turn into beliefs, beliefs turn into actions, actions turn into perspective, perspective turns into reality. So that's a fact. That is right.
Fact, okay?
What about it though?
So the white people in England believed that they were superior. Right, they were the superior race in the world, and therefore they had a right to go and conquer. Okay, so that was the belief that propelled their actions. So when they came over here, and it is quoted in the history books that they looked at the Native Americans and said they are a Gentile people. They are easy to take over and easy to just do what we want to do. That is fact. They did the same thing with black people. They used black people as a commodity, like you said, to propel their wealth. But it was the belief that they were superior, because if they thought anything else.
No, they knew they wasn't superior. That was a lie.
That they were superior. That's how they were able to go to America, go to Africa, and treat us less than humans and treat us like cattle.
But that's not in your book. Listen to what I'm saying. No, I get it, but that's not deep. See, here's the thing. There's always a root cause, obviously, to anything. But it's not that they believed that they were superior. They wanted to form a lie because the dark skin ruled on this earth. So they didn't know. Listen, just like if you go in Egypt now and you see the nose is broken off, they was forming a lie. It wasn't that they actually felt that they were better. It's that they knew that they wasn't, but they had to push a people down so those people wouldn't believe that they were. It wasn't, but how did they do that? Through wealth. It wasn't. Listen, here we go. You can come at me all you want. I'm talking about everybody. But this is not to the right people about race. It's never been about race. It's about dominance. Look, I'm so frustrated with the words. I can't even put them together. All I'm saying is this. You can believe all you want that it's about black and white when it's not about black and white. And there's even racist people who would tell you about a certain group of people and they put these two people together. It's about wealth. Why do you think that white people have more than black people? It's not because of their skin color. It was because it was meant to be put together. All I'm saying is this. There is proof out here from scholars and all we got to do is put this and you can even go on people's pages and find out this information that it's solid, even to Christopher Columbus being who he was. So my thing is that these are lies that have been pushed in. Listen, it's not because of your skin color that you're white privilege. It's because you dominate. It's your people dominate, and they've been dominating for years. So yeah, it is white privilege, but there is black privilege. Now here's the thing, and then I'm gonna be done with it. So I can go this route. When I mean black privilege, I'm not talking about black privilege to white people. I'm talking about black privilege to black people, meaning the reason that some people don't step in is because of the deals and the contracts that they have already made that deals with white people, and they don't want to lose certain financial benefits or whatever that they will get because of them talking to their own people. Now, how you title it, that's your business.
So it's like blacks. So we have blacks that are the have and the have not blacks.
Yeah, the have and the have not. Yeah, you have black privilege. Puffy is privileged to be black. He's a privileged person, and he happened to be black. Jay-Z is a privileged person that happened to be black. And I can go so, and I mean, like I said, it's even billionaires who's saying this. I'm not the only one who's saying this. They're saying the same thing. So all we're saying is this, so that we won't just stand at a standstill that's not making sense, but to say this, listen, if you have the means to do better or to help someone else out that is your own people, meaning color, you should do so. You shouldn't look at the fact that I have these resources and I don't want to break ties with these people. So now you're making a choice to say that that my money is more important than human life. You see what I mean? And see, so that's what I'm
that's
saying.
almost kind of like Lil Wayne said. He said, well, it's just me and my kids. I got, that's all, and nothing else was ever going on out there in the world. I have nothing. I'm closed off to any of that. It's just me and my family. That's black privilege, because it's like you don't see the realness of what's going on because you're in your own little world.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
I'm identifying you as the same color as me. And you happen to be able to be privileged in areas that I can't even come to. I don't have $100 million in the bank. So my thing is that's considered black privilege. I'm black and I'm privileged, just like white people. But it's all about the power behind it, and that's the dollar. That's the capitalism. That's what's going on in this country. Now, I'm not talking to my co-host, because they believe a certain way, but I am talking to the people out here in this YouTube world to let you know that, look, if you are the person that is black privilege, I'm gonna keep that title, that hopefully you're making a difference within your community, because here it go. You're only privileged to the degree where you can do more than other black people, but you're not privileged to the society that be, and here it go, to the white society who dominates. Because now listen, if we had the most wealth or just like them, we'll be an even privileged people, but we're not, and we happen to be black. So however you want to term it out in your mind, put the terminology on, or be in denial in the area that there's not black people that are privileged, that's on you. But I am saying, people, listen, we got to get out here. We have to make a difference. We have to help one another, because that's what's going to make a difference at the end of the day. I believe that, I'm privileged in certain areas, and I help. You see what I mean? I help financially. So my thing is that, and I'm not trying to shy on anything that's going on with me, but I am saying that, my family is very blessed in areas, because I don't put my business out there, but we're blessed. You see what I mean? We're fine. You know what I mean? But we can help other people when it's necessary, and we help those other people because of the things that I can do. So all I'm saying is, what is it that you can do out there, and talking to those people who can do things a little bit more than the average person. Right. So I mean, what can you do? Do it. do it. Make a difference. If you have to go, just go ahead and go. But if you can help. That's what I want to go at, because I don't want to get caught up in the terminology. More so is my point is that you can't be like Lil Wayne and be in denial to what's going on, and your black privilege can help, but you don't, because you don't want to be cut off. So that's what I'm saying. That's not going to work for us. We have to be unified black people. We have to be unified and look at this thing to say, hey, I need my brother to stand with me in this success, because I might need him down the road. Whereas so many white people who can come against me, at least I have a couple of brothers who's making a certain amount of money that I'm making, and we can walk down this road, and I got somebody who got my back. Just like the Arab people in the Dearborn community. Those people have so much structural balance within their community in terms of their wealth, economics, that is crazy. And they won't even let you in. They won't even let you in, because they understand that it's not about my skin color in this society, but it's about the wealth that I have and how that wealth turns to power, so that now I have a voice for my people. You don't see a lot of Arabs getting the police ain't killing them, shooting them down. Their community will stand up together. So that's what I'm saying. Black privilege, come out of it. Do right by your people. Help your people, because we need your help. Kudos and shout out. I'm hoping that reparations will come for our people and the form that it needs to come in. But I'm saying that I'm for reparations. I'm about to say reparations. You're not about to say reparations.